We'll begin in a minute. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Let me start by wishing happy International Women's Day to all the other women who are on the call and who will be joining us. I say to people, I come from Cameroon, and we Cameroonians in the diaspora are going to spend the rest of the day looking at pictures and images of the celebration that is taking place in Cameroon. This day is really a massive, probably the big, besides the New Year and the Christmas holidays. This day is a very significant day celebrated in Cameroon and most of Africa, where I come from, and many other parts of the world. So I wish to highlight our best wishes and gratitude to all the women that contribute to the development of our society. And I was saying that when I read the history of the International Institute, it was really started out to provide English language to immigrant women who had moved into this society from Europe. But even more importantly, to think about it was started to create opportunities for these women to integrate the workforce. Obviously, with the recognition that women have a vital role to play in development. And for generations, women have come to St. Louis from all over the world and have contributed significantly to the development and continue to contribute to the development of the society. So we celebrate you today. Kelly is going to talk a little bit about some of the exciting things that are going on here at the International Institute with reference to the celebration of International Women's Day. Kelly, you want to talk about that? I know
we actually have it down later with some cool pictures already. So yes,
oh, great.
In a few more minutes, you'll hear from me.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But everything else, I want to thank you all for being here today as we have made this what started out as a weekly check-in, bi-weekly, and now a monthly check-in, to just share with you, give you an update on developments as it concerns our work here, and also to leverage your support and your continuous interest in supporting our work. So we're taking, in the next hour, we're going to really cover the items on the agenda today. Is we're going to touch on resettlement. We will talk a little bit about welcome call and private sponsorships that are trending nowadays, to use the cool language. And then we'll talk about ongoing and upcoming events that we have. And obviously our community shoutouts would also be open to question and answers. But just before I go on to turn this over to, I don't know whether it'll be Shoutout area, but one of them, I just want to, again, thank you all for your support to the International Institute. We continue, to welcome a diverse group of people. The conversation now, as I say, it's more than just more than Afghans and Ukrainians. We're seeing this diversity in arrivals, which is good for this community to continue to welcome people of diverse background. The first 3 months of the year for us have been critical for us in developing and implementing the vision that we have for the International Institute's role in this community. It almost seems like we're always running behind time. That's because we're running behind time. because there's just so much to be done and so much to be accomplished. And that every Monday morning when our resettlement team gets around and they think and they take stock of potential arrivals, their first concern continues to be the housing challenge that we face as a community. We are continuing to engage stakeholders in the community to find a way for us to be able to get a handle on the housing situation, which would facilitate the task for us in welcoming and resettling more people in St. Louis. We're making progress. We're having a lot of conversations, some of those conversations with some of you that are on this call, but we continue to seek your counsel and guidance as opportunities arise for us to be able to address that key concern that we have in terms of housing. We also know that the workforce continues to, on the one hand, be an opportunity, but be a challenge. We're facing significant challenges with transportation, especially for some of the people who are staying outside. Well, at one point I was saying outside the city limits, but it's actually more complicated than that because even the city is facing challenges finding drivers on certain routes, making our lives more complicated. I know at some point in one of these groups, we had conversations about creative ways in which we could provide transport, whether it was liaising or connecting with the Ubers and Lyfts of the world. We are really open to ideas and suggestions on how we can address some of those things so that we can put the people that come here, integrate them into society. And one of the best ways is having them be able to get to work on a daily basis. As a community, we celebrate. I really want us to celebrate that our Major League Soccer team won its first game, its opening game here, 3-1. That's a great thing for St. Louis. And I know for the immigrant population, they're really connected to the soccer team. And so that's something that we must celebrate, but it brings a certain kind of energy, the energy that we need to build this vibrant community. And we should shout the good things from the mountaintop so that people can hear far and wide about what St. Louis is doing and accomplishing. We have a great partnership with St. Louis St. Louis City soccer team. They run a program here at the International Institute. So we feel like we're part of that winning team and that celebration. Those are just, on this unique day of the year, I just wanted to highlight some of the things that we must continue to celebrate: the women and the soccer team, of course. Let me, at this point, I'm going to move on to item 2 on our agenda, and I'll turn this over to Shoutout.
Yes. Thank you, Ray. Happy Women's Day first. And I'm very happy to be here and to join you to update the new arrivals status for the current and previous month of arrivals. So we at the International Institute Resettlement team has been working, and we have been working very hard to help new arrivals and to provide them the right service and in timely manner. And we are equipped to resettle and serve all the new arrivals. Since we back to our traditional and anniversary of arrivals, we have been resettled clients in February, and we are expecting to duplicate of the arrival for month of March. So for February, we resettled 11 Afghans, 11 Congolese, and 13 Syrians. So this is individual 35 individual, as you can see on your screen. For the month of March, we are expecting to receive duplicate of that number that we received in February. So we are expecting so far, as of today, and this number could be changed any minute. So maybe while I'm talking to you right now, I'm going to receive the new arrivals information. So far we have 17 cases arriving for March, and this is 57 individual. And this cases has medical cases, large families. 3 of these families, we have family of 7, family of 8, and also family of 10 who's expecting to be arrived next week. For this month, as I said, we are ready to serve all this family. The only issues that we have been facing is the housing for large family and for last minute of receiving this information. So for example, family of 10, I just received their information today. Like I think in 30 minutes ago, I received the information and I signed a caseworker to pick them up. So our housing staff actually is not ready yet for their housing. We are going to work on it very hard, and I hope we are going to find them house this week. Even with that, housing continues to be an area of need for our new arrivals, and we have been planning for all this large family to find a funding for a large family specifically to hold houses for them, and we are able to pay 2 to 3 months rent to serve this houses for the new arrivals to hold on it until they will arrive. So I am also expecting maybe soon in July or August, we are going to receive more large families that I have been insured, and these arrivals may come like in a few months from now. As I said, these cases can show in our calendars in any time, and we can receive the emails from USCRI in any minute, and we will need to work on it and serve this family as much as we can in appropriate housing should be, and the services that need to be provided. So you see in your screen here, we have Abdul Wahid. He's the housing coordinator, and he's the person who's in charge to find house for all the new arrivals. If you think you haven't connected with the landlord, landlady who's willing to serve their property for the new arrival, please connect him. This is his email address, his direct line phone number, and also mobile. If you have that house, we will appreciate your help. And also we can hold, as I said, the housing for the new arrival. The affordable housing payment could be $1,200 for the family of 4 or less, and $1,400 for the family of 5. And we are planning to hold on these houses in case if we have any clients like in last minute show off on our calendars, so we will be able to serve them. As always, your assistance is greatly appreciated, and I'm very happy that you guys able to join us today and interested to listen to the update list for our new arrivals for February and March. Thank you so much.
Shada, just one thing, $1,200 is the rent for a family of 4 or a 4-bedroom?
For the family of 4, it will be less than $1,200. For the family of 4, we are not going to provide for bedrooms. We are going to provide them like maybe the gender in that family. So for $1,200 for the 4 bedrooms, that will be affordable amount to pay, and $1,400 for the 5 bedrooms, that will work too.
Thank you very much, Shada and Ariel, for that contribution. At this point, we are going to go up onto the next item on the agenda, which is really about focusing on private sponsorships. And I'm going to turn this over to Blake Hamilton to talk a little bit about what we're learning, the developments there, and what the opportunities are for us in St. Louis. Blake?
Good afternoon, everyone. As Ray said, we want to just recap a little bit about Welcome Corps before jumping into some new information that was released about a week or so ago. But for those who are unfamiliar, Welcome Corps is the new program through the Department of State with other partners that is designed to increase refugee resettlement capacity in the United States outside of the federally approved refugee ceiling, and will allow resettlement in areas that don't necessarily have a resettlement agency, as it will rely on individuals to sponsor newly arrived refugees. In this first year, the target is about 5,000 refugees to be resettled in this method during the fiscal year. And again, that would be resettled all across the country. Refugees resettled through Welcome Corps, like we said, are not going to count towards the refugee ceiling. This is an alternative means of resettlement that requires private sponsor groups of around 5 individuals to support those cases for that first 90 days and raise their own funds in order to be able to do that. And so sponsors must raise $2,275 per individual that they are expecting to serve through the program. And that is cash fundraising as well as in-kind contributions. The new part of this is the formation of private sponsor organizations. The last time we spoke, this was still being fleshed out. We do have a few more details to share. Private sponsor organizations can apply for funding, as it were, to support and oversee a minimum of 50 private sponsor groups per year. The private sponsor groups here are those that are resettling refugees. But there is an opportunity for private sponsor organizations to also support sponsors of Ukrainians with humanitarian parole, or those that are receiving parole from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela as well. But the role of the private sponsor organization is to really organize, support, and help with the administration of the cases that the groups are working with. The private sponsor organizations will recruit groups, but also individuals. So individuals who want to be private sponsors who aren't necessarily connected to a group of 5 can go to these private sponsor organizations and be matched with a group to provide that support. The private sponsor organizations are helping these groups with their individual applications and preparation for support pre-arrival. So private sponsor groups will still need to submit their own application to become sponsors. And the private sponsor organizations would help facilitate those applications. After the refugee arrives or the individual arrives, there would be post-arrival mentorship and support from the private sponsor organization. However, it would still be the responsibility of the private sponsor group to provide the list of services to those newly arrived refugees. The private sponsor organization would likewise receive and review the should be 30 and 90-day reports that the private sponsor groups must submit that are engaging in resettlement. Private sponsor groups will be responsible for their own reporting. However, the private sponsor organizations can review those reports and help ensure that those private sponsor groups are fulfilling their requirements for reporting and service delivery. And of course, where the sponsor relationship may go south, the private sponsor organizations are really there to help mitigate any potential risk to the refugees as they're arriving. And also, of course, if there's challenges that private sponsor groups are facing, the private sponsor organizations are there to assist, along with the technical assistance that'd be provided at the national level through Welcome Corps as well. And so what this sort of means for the region is, we are seeking more groups to help support private sponsorship in our region. And we are going to be talking with organizations, and we'll be inviting organizations and community stakeholders to attend a meeting upcoming on March 16th to talk a little bit more about the vision that we have for creating private sponsor groups in our region and a methodology for ensuring that those organizations are fully supported in their work of welcoming refugees, as well as welcoming parolees into St. Louis. This first meeting is really going to be a high-level conversation with organizations. We will be meeting subsequently with individual groups or organizations that are interested in becoming private sponsors to talk more about that process and what connection to a private sponsor organization might look like. We're thankful to our partners at the Mosaic Project for lending their space for our meeting on the 16th. And those invitations for that meeting should be going out in the next 24 hours. So thank you, very much again to the Mosaic Project for their partnership on this. And I'd be of course available to answer any further questions as they come up as much as I can with the limited amount of information that has actually been provided for either Welcome Corps or the private sponsor groups, but happy to do so. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Blake. That is an exciting development that we are all looking forward to play a role as a community, developing a strategy in which we can be coordinated in how we position ourselves as much more, we are working together to position St. Louis as welcoming, but there's always room for improvement, and that would really be effective through collaboration. And we want to address this opportunity in a really collaborative manner. We look forward to working with organizations around the table to determine how we capitalize on the opportunity. Well, I started this day by talking about the International Women's Day, and now I see why Shata is dressed the way that she is, and all the women in the building. I'm going to turn this over to Kelly to talk about what's going on today.
Good afternoon on this beautiful, energized day in the building, but outside I'm looking at the gray. So welcome to International Women's Day. Here at the agency, we've encouraged staff and coworkers to dress up in their traditional dress or ethnic dress. That was really hard for me because I have, a mix of cultures, but I just chose my German flag lei that I purchased years ago. So I just love these pictures because this was this morning, and our coworkers got to join together, and we have a photo booth in the lobby. Today we have about three groups coming to the Institute, and we had some children from the Wilson School pass out flowers to all of the women in the building. And then in this beautiful photo here, some of the women are hugging themselves because that is the theme for International Women's Day, which is embrace equity. So if you are willing and if you want to participate in the day, it's as easy as sharing what International Women's Day with anyone. You could take a picture of yourself and post it on all these tags, or there's a different word for that, but and you can just create memories of the day with your coworkers and families. So thank you to all the women. Thank you to all the beautiful designs that they're wearing. And let's hope the sun comes out just a little bit today. So happy International Women's Day. Let's move on to our.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kelly, I think you're covering the next items on the agenda, so please go ahead.
So the next couple items happen to be community ongoing activities and community shout outs. So the bazaar, this is really, really fun. And I'm so excited to talk about this because this concept of the bazaar has been in our brains. Carlos and I and Ray and other staff members have been talking about this for the last 2 years. So I am so excited to tell you all that we have opened up a bazaar here at the International Institute. It is every 2 weeks on Friday afternoon. And at this bazaar, at the moment, for the next month, we are offering refugees and immigrants food items. So we have, as you can see on the slide, a donation from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They were the ones who really let us kickstart this bazaar. And so we have credit to buy some food from them. For the first month that we've opened, we're really just considering it our test month. We're trying to navigate what items are new Americans like, what items are highly successful. And we, of course, are looking to volunteers and community partners to keep this bazaar going. The goal is to have it going throughout the year, every 2 weeks. And we have had talks with the Metro Market, Operation Food Search, Little Angels Foundations, and then community groups on average. So this is an exciting opportunity, not only for the people we serve, but for community members like yourself that want to engage in helping us break down the barrier of food deserts or food insecurity or culturally appropriate food. So thank you to those who've started us, who've given us the reason to kickstart it, and please come and join us on Fridays. The next two are going to be in March. The next two are March 17th, so St. Patrick's Day, and then March 31st, I believe it is. As you are also noted, more than 90 families were served. So on the first day that we launched this bazaar, it was 45 families with over 245 people impacted. So we're going to be recording all of this. We're going to continue to watch what kind of impact we're making in the community, and that is also really important. So thank you to the current people who are and groups that are helping us, and we welcome more groups always. So next slide. Soccer for Life. Woo! Okay, as Ray mentioned, you know, the soccer team coming to St. Louis, they've also been working for multiple years, gearing up the community for their initiatives and the stadium. We have partnered with them to do this program called Soccer for Life. They have individuals from the soccer team that are qualified to teach children not only soccer skills, but life skills. So this has been happening for the last 3 weeks. The last Saturday is this Saturday, March 11th. This is a program that we will hope to continue in the future, and it will be 2 programs a year at 6 weeks each. So the coaches are amazing. I've been to 2 of the Saturdays. The coaches come from various parts of the world as well, German, Somalian, St. Louisan. So the coaches are really ready to be with our new arrivals, ready to teach them not only soccer, but life skills. So that's a really great partnership, and we are excited to offer it in our gymnasium. So thank you, St. Louis City SC. Next slide. Upcoming events. As you've heard before on this presentation, we are offering volunteer orientations at the International Institute. The next one is March 22nd, 5:30 to 7:30. Save the date, tell people to come. This is a really great opportunity, not only to learn about and to sign up to be a volunteer, but it's also a great time to ask questions to staff and get answers that you might not have, and to support the work that we do. Next one. Save the dates. I believe we have Barbara on the call, but if I'm going to announce this, and then Barbara, if you want to add to this, but we are so excited. We've already met multiple times to plan and launch our Anna E. Crossland Center for Multicultural Excellence. This is really amazing work that the Institute and staff and coworkers are doing. It's going to be a kickoff on March 30th. That's going to be here at the International Institute, so look for more details. And then throughout the month of April, we will be having events throughout the community. And then the end of the campaign kickoff will be May 3rd, and that's going to be really fun too. So keep your calendars open for March 30th in the evening and May 3rd. Barbara, do you have anything to add about these events? Maybe she isn't on the call.
Oh, Barbara's on the call.
No, you covered all the bases. So I was just saying, yes, endorsing everything that Kelly just shared, and we are definitely looking forward to partnering, especially with some of you on the call, to host events for us or with us throughout the month of April. So look to hear from us.
Okay, if you have any fabulous interest in helping us with this, contact Barbara. Community shout outs. We are so excited to have already participated in some of our multicultural trainings with the Multicultural Center, and staff and Barbara led this immersive cultural experience featuring Cortex. And this was a, what was it, 8-hour activity? Was it 8 hours, 6 hours? It was basically most of the day, but this was a really great program. We offered this program to about 25 members of Cortex. And we, as you can see in the slide, we had them participate in different living rooms of different cultures. So we had a Cuban room, we had a Congolese room, and an Afghan room. And it was something to see. I loved it. I loved the whole day. By the end of the day, I was filled with joy, and I think the people from Cortex were very happy. We all learned a lot that day, and it was amazing. So there'll be more happening throughout the year, but if you are interested in learning more about what kind of experience we offered and what kind of takeaways that they told us, please contact Barbara or myself. And thank you to all the staff and partners. We had lots of partners on this one for creating those rooms that were so beautiful and so amazing. So good work, everybody. Thank you to Enterprise Holdings. They continue to be a partner that is thinking of ways to help us. And recently they have donated gift cards to various locations. So staff are using these cards for new Americans who have certain needs, either clothing. As you can see, it was Burlington, Land's End, and Lane Bryant. So Carlos, who's on the call, will tell us what was the most average thing that people wanted.
Well, thanks, Kelly. Yeah, we received this tremendous gift from Enterprise Holdings, and so we're utilizing it, as Kelly mentioned, for clients to provide clients so that they can make purchases, in terms of attire for their needs. So it's going through a multi-use kind of element, and in terms of our resettlement and workforce solutions departments, utilizing this also with cultural orientation. So it's a great resource for us to utilize, and we're still developing ways to take advantage of these.
Great. I mean, one thing that I like to say to all of us on the call is that because we're working with human beings, the needs are constantly changing and they're constantly flexible. So we appreciate this donation. We are putting it to good use and helping people access clothing that they otherwise would not have been able to access. So thank you, Enterprise Holdings. Let's continue on. Global Foods, this was fun. This was the second year that Global Foods hosted a spice drive for the International Institute, and we appreciate all of the spices they collected. I believe they came to us on a Wednesday, and by Friday at the bazaar, all of the spices were gone. So that was awesome. That was amazing. People really enjoyed looking at all the different spices, and we appreciate Global Foods for continuing to support our rivals. Thank you. There's always opportunities to get engaged, right? The easiest way to get engaged would be volunteer opportunities. So we have lots of opportunities here. Mock interviews, that one continues to be on the list every year or almost every month. If you would like to participate one-on-one in interviewing with our new Americans, that's available. The food bazaar is available. This one is one of my favorites. This is the one that's a staple. Bus buddy volunteers. Who wants to get on the bus with people and show them St. Louis? You can do it. We can do it. We always need volunteers for this. So then lastly, cultural orientation babysitters. So this is really essential for our adult new Americans to really have class without having their 3-year-olds bother them. So if you like children, and if you can play simple games and have fun with children, this is the volunteer opportunity for you. As always, John Worth is our volunteer coordinator. He will be able to answer questions. You can meet him at the volunteer orientation on March 22nd. Let's get out there and volunteer. Opportunities for support. Visa gift cards. So this is really essential to continue the services, providing the wide opportunity of services, wide range of services that we provide. We've noticed recently that the greatest need for Visa gift cards continues to be helping fill and pay for prescriptions. So as we know, working with any sort of federal government process, it takes a little bit of time. So sometimes our clients and new Americans need medical attention or medical medications before they are signed up for the Medicaid benefits. So that puts everybody in a tight spot because, as we all know, depending on the medications, the cost could be outrageous. So caseworkers have requested, this is a need that they're seeing more and more, and we would appreciate any kind of support to help our new arrivals continue to be on the medicine that they need. So spread the word about Visa gift cards. As always, the needs are changing in our donation room. These are the items that are very low. I don't see, size 1 and 2 diapers are pretty much a standard item. Cookware, I know that we really are lacking a lot of stock pots, so the larger pots that can make food for larger families. And then laundry detergent is always, it's pretty much a need at any given point. We know that laundry detergent can be very expensive, and people use it every day. So we continue to request all the Schnooks gift cards. Our lists are on our website. If you don't know who to turn, if you don't know what to do, or you would like more ideas, Abyssine is our coworker that can direct you to other ideas if these are not appealing. So thank you for those who have donated in the past. Volunteer youth programming. This is just John's address and the donate link. As if you're sitting here today wanting to do something on the spot, you can click on these links and register to volunteer and donate. So we appreciate all of you. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to be here with us. I think that's it.
Thank you very much, Kelly, for that long list of things that are going on, and really just highlighting or giving a shout out to everybody that's been supporting our work. People are, we appreciate the creativity in the support, looking at what enterprise has done. Is really creating opportunities for people in ways that they would normally not have access to, and so that's actually good. We also continue to think creatively about things that we're doing. We've been working diligently behind the scenes to expand mobile telephone access to every immigrant that comes here to St. Louis, give them good quality telephone and telephone service, as well as internet service into their homes at a massively, the first few months free and a massively discounted price. We continue to think about the little things that will make a difference, that would as people resettle in this community. So we're truly grateful. I'm going to pause here. We have about 20 minutes. I'm not sure that whether I missed any questions in the chat, but if there are any questions, we'll open up for questions now from anyone in the audience. Whilst we're waiting, I just want to use this opportunity to give a big shout out to Jason, our buyers, for the grant that they've received. That's really going to be helpful as we continue to address the needs of the Afghan community that has just resettled here. So congratulations. We're looking forward to collaborating, working with you and all the other organizations. I think that's something that we from St. Louis must talk a lot more about, how we are really collaborating together to support our new arrivals. So I know it took some time, but it's finally here. So congratulations to that. Any questions from anybody? Oh, that's good news. I just from Emmy talking about the Afghan Adjustment Act. I know we've spoken about it here repeatedly, and we were losing hope, but Emmy is saying that it looks like this act would pass, and it's going to make the life easy for so many people who are working on this whole the clinics that we've been doing and all of that. So that's good news. Glad to hear that.
Well, just to add to that, there does seem to be increased support, but nothing is a done deal yet.
Yeah.
We still want to make sure that everybody is reaching out and letting your elected representatives in Washington know how important this is for the individuals who we've worked so hard to welcome in this community, but also our community, and how important it is for these folks to be settled and feel welcome here and be able to stay here and build their lives. Without this, they remain in a limbo state that is very challenging to build from. So please do what you can to reach out to your elected representatives and let them know how you feel about the Afghan Adjustment Act.
Well, Blake, thanks for doing that. Blake is leading our new advocacy efforts here, so that's really good. We need to continue pushing to make sure that this is done this year and not kick down kicking the can down the road all the time. If there, let me see, there is a question there.
The question is about welcome
Matt,
call.
to your question with reference to the welcome call, which is, are we aware of any private sponsor organization forming here in St. Louis to oversee sponsor groups? I think the answer to that is the International Institute of St. Louis. We're hoping that we can, I think applications open up either tomorrow or one of these days. We're hoping to become one of the private sponsorship groups or the private sponsorship organization here that will be supporting and coordinating the work of the private sponsorship groups in the region. So that we're looking forward to that. And Matt, if you would like to reach out, you can also reach out to Blake. Blake will be leading our efforts in that direction. And Blake, if you want to just drop your, the more information we get, because we're getting this information piecemeal as it comes out, as they develop the program, Blake should be able to provide you with more information. Seeing no other question, I just want to thank you all for your time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your continuous support. This year promises to be really exciting. We will be back in April with more information and more the accomplishments that we're having. Hopefully, solutions to challenges. But even more importantly, we know how invested you all are in the work that we do, in our work to make St. Louis a welcoming community. So we'll be constantly coming back to you with information. So you'll hear back from us in April. Thank you very much for your time.